Hello Swatchfesters. Today I will be reviewing the Dior Lady Polish that came out with the Kingdom of Colours for Spring 2015, so that's fairly new. As you can see, I have prepped my hands again, so this is the usual Harome nail hardener. I am getting through that. It's hard to show because it's so pointy. I'm probably halfway through this and it hasn't thickened up, but it does look really weird how it's milky in the bottle, but when you actually apply it to your nails, it gives it a really nice natural look. Especially, I have not shown my fingernails any love this weekend. So let's start, shall we? So this is what Dior, this is the Gel Effect, or Effect, I guess, depending on how you want to pronounce it. The new formulation for Dior. They've had quite a few, the same looking bottle, the same looking sort of polish for a number of years. I found it quite chip-tastic on me, even though the colours are gorgeous. Every time I've applied them to my nails, I'd be lucky to get 24 hours out of a polish before I had like very, very noticeable chipping. Like the whole nail would chip off, like the whole polish off the nail or half the nail, and edge wear or shrinking. And so even though they had the most gorgeous colours, I gave up on their Dior Vernis range, and then read a million reviews about how the new Gel Effect was much better, and bought a couple and found that I got many days of wear. So I bought Lady thinking it's about time I found myself a nice neutral. This is like a ballet pink. It reminds me exactly of what ballet slippers look like, that sort of nudie, pinky, I don't know, you know what I'm saying. Any of us, you know, I'm sure that some of you out there have kids that wear ballet slippers. You know what I'm saying. It's got that real tone to it. Anyway, this is the new Dior brush that came out. We know they reformulated a few things and they came out with a newer brush. So this is what the brush looks like. I actually quite like it, but I have very small pinky fingernails and sometimes find that trying to get coverage on that nail can be a bit difficult, so I start halfway like this and then work my way down carefully so I don't end up with nail polish absolutely everywhere. And I do find I get a little bit of cuticle run, like just here that you can see, but that's going to happen with the slightly bigger brushes. Now I obviously haven't worn this before. This is brand new to me, so share the review with me as I try it on. In my last review, or my last two reviews, you've seen how I always apply the first one with some significant care and then really slap on the second coat and the top coat. Again, a little bit of cuticle run. I don't like that look where it's pulling in your cuticles. It's quite a pretty colour. I sort of describe this as an edgier nude. A tiny bit too much polish on that. I am very much an advocate for thin coats, especially on a lighter colour. You can sort of see, oh, I might have done a bad job to that one. I'm sure we'll fix it up with a second coat. And then no, it definitely looks like a colour. Some nudes look like just clear gloss. And I find that some of the more yellow tones are quite difficult for me to carry on my skin tone. As you can see, I have quite a lot of pink in my skin tone, even though technically I have a pale olive skin tone. My family is a Mediterranean background, so that my skin tone technically is olive. But it's a fair olive. So that's coat one. Doesn't look too fantabulous, let me tell you. Number one, we might need a 3 coat for this. It could be my nails. My nails are a bit ridged, so let's hope that that evens out. That's part of the joy of doing Swatchfest. You get to see whether it looks crap on my nails before you invest the money into buying the polish for yourselves. And you can see the application as well. Sometimes you just see the photos on the net and you're like, oh, that looks all right. You don't really know whether they've done 3 coats or they've had to do anything smart to manipulate to get smooth application. Plus, I'm not an expert. I'm sure if I went to a manicurist, they'd find a way to make any streaky polish work. So there we go. We are nearly down with coat number 1. I do quite like it still. It is a, if it evens out in the second coat, it is going to look quite polished, quite professional. Right, there we go. 1 coat down. Let's do number 2. So I try and make sure I don't take too much off on the polish, on the brush. Oh, that's better. That's looking much better. Phew-wee. Thank God. A little bit too much there. And this is the nail that I did a terrible job of earlier. So we need to show it a little bit more love now, in the hope that I can even it out. Oh, that's much better. Let me just fix that little tiny pull of run. Should grab an orange stick for that. I'll show you some of the tools of the Mani that I use after I've applied my polish. So what keeps my cuticles in check when I remember to actually keep them in check, as well as the hand cream I swear by. I just absolutely love that. Since I discovered it, I'm halfway through a tube and it hasn't been that long. Let me just quickly fix the edge up on this one. As you can see where I've run a tiny bit over. Not that it really matters on a colour like this. Right, let's go, shall we? Number 2 coat. The polish is quite thick, as you can see with the application. I find the Dior polishes are a bit thicker, especially since they've changed to the gel finish. It's definitely not the same as, there was a lot more slip, it was a lot more runny in the old version. And I quite like the slightly thicker tendency and finish. Just thought I'd have a quick look as we go through. Maybe a tiny bit too much polish there. I think I've had too much coffee today. My hands are a little bit shaky. For those of you that don't know, I'm currently doing this on a Sunday evening before the work week, needing a nice neutral polish. I have got a cat that's coming around my legs at the moment. I'm so hoping he doesn't leap up onto where I'm applying polish like he sometimes does, as he is the boss. As you saw in the last video, he tried to make an appearance. At least he didn't meow. He's a male cat. He has an extremely loud meow. It is really funny. It sounds like a complaint more than a meow. Like a grumble. All right, that is 2 coats of Dior Lady. As you can see, the cute little bottle that has the cap that has the CD on it, and then, you know, the silver cap that clips back in. Right, back to our trusty hardware Butter London top coat. I love this stuff. I can't fault it. Can't fault most of the Butter London range, like I said last time. It just works. Wears like iron. If anything, I'd probably argue they need a slightly bigger brush, but it doesn't streak what's underneath, so it doesn't matter too much. And it does apply nicely, as you can see. Super glossy, very leveling, and that's what you want your top coats to be. You know, you don't want to be messing with the top coat, and especially if you've had an unwieldy polish underneath. You know, you want to be able to get your top coat to fix up as much of the hack job that you might have created on the way through. And I love how that does that with the Butter London hardware. Now, I've bought all these myself. There is no affiliate link here or PR have sent me Butter London polish or anything for me to rave about the top coat, or Dior in this one. I spend my own money, and so I'm telling you, faux show, that I love this stuff out of trial and error. I've tried Seche Vite. It thickens quickly. It is excellent though. It will make things last forever. The smell, you know you're putting something that's probably not the best for you on your nails. It's got a very, very strong smell. The Butter London, I think, are 5-free. Done OPI. I find OPI dries out very fast too. I have the Dior top coat. I'm not a big fan. It works, sort of. Is it as good as the Butter London? No. Is it twice the price? Yes. But sometimes, you know, you get sucked in by the siren song of the, is the top coat and the base coat going to make it last longer and better? Maybe. I didn't find that that was the case for me. And so as you can see, I don't use the same brand all the way through. I've used the Jerome as my base coat, and also as a nail hardener. It's actually quite moisturising, I find. And I'm using obviously a different brand top coat. And I've never had an issue, like I get really good wear. So on our last coat, wasn't this quick? Super fast. I always find that my thumb on my right hand is the one that I always feel like I'm going to spaz out on. Plus it's got some ridging. All right, that's better. There we go. 2 coats of colour, 1 base coat, 1 top coat. This is polish obviously, so you know, some care as it dries will be needed. It's very pretty. It's actually quite a nice colour. Not too bad on my slightly pink hands, as you can see, but very nice, very glossy, very, very glossy. Now I said at the start that I'd show you some of the manicure stuff that I use. I have cracked out my handbag holiday cuticle oil. I actually got this gifted to me from my mother-in-law with some nail polish for my birthday last year, and hadn't used it at all. I don't know why. It smells like coconut. It is not really liquid, so when you put it on your nails it doesn't run everywhere. Well, it's liquid, but it's not that bad. I love the smell. I really love the smell. I've had the apricot cuticle oils before. I've had rose ones, and I find the rose ones are overbearing and I don't like them at all. But this is a winner. If you can find this, take it. Take it and run. It's excellent. I'm going to take this with me. I might actually, like it says, the handbag holiday, I might actually throw it in my handbag. I love it that much. And this hand cream that I'm about to reach for, this is the L'Occitane. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. It's what I assume is how you pronounce it. The whipped hand cream, like you can tell by how thin it is. It comes out like whipped cream, and I swear it's not just the novelty, it's actually quite light. I was a big fan of their old shea butter, but it's like, don't tell me that's not cool. Look, it's like whipped cream. I love that. It does rub into your hands really, really easily, and your hands still feel moisturised after you've washed them. Like, I've washed dishes after I've done something with my hands. I love it. Let me just show you how easily it rubs in. Obviously, I did apply a lot for a hand. Ta-da! Quite nice. I'm not going to do my nails. I'm waiting for them to dry. But yeah, that is Dior Lady. Love it. Looks great. And a little bit of my manicure trickery. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.